Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Cash Money Sack.
Where you are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther III, and now from the top of Benno Mountain all the way down to all 50 states in the globe is happily himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today?
Good, man. How you doing, Geek? It's been a while.
Good, doing very good.
Good. You want to introduce the guest? Go ahead.
Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to our guest tonight, Mika McCoy.
Hello everybody. It's an honor to be on here.
Aw. Honor to have you.
I got it correctly, did I? Or
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
You're good.
Because I've been the one that totally tripped and botched the name and all, and it's always like by a less than a letter. I'm always like, yeah, no.
It's like it happens all the time. Ever since I've been super young, everybody's always called me Mika. So it's to the point where I'm like, man, maybe my mom should have named me Mika.
Mika, yeah.
You always could do a name change.
Yeah.
But I think your mom would be upset if you changed your name.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
For sure.
Heel turn on your mom. No. So if our fans are not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, my name's Mika McCoy. I am a registered nurse. I'm currently in nurse practitioner school. I will graduate it next summer. I am actually a nursing instructor at a local community college here in Southern West Virginia. And just recently, I have decided to pick up my forever dream, and that is to be a professional wrestler.
That's
awesome.
Amazing.
It's like one thing that you're a nurse and you want to be a nurse. The other thing is you want to do your dream. Yes. You want to be a professional wrestler. Like, what was it like the first time you like strapped up the boots and got your shorts and your tank top on and you went into practice like for the first time at training?
Oh, well, it's funny. I went on my birthday.
Wow.
So my birthday, was my training day. So I'm like there and I'm hearing the ring, I see the ring, I'm putting my shoes on, I'm doing the warm up, and I'm like, this is where I've always truly wanted to be. And I knew as soon as I walked through the door, I was like, this is exactly where I want to be.
Wow.
So how did you get involved in the wrestling business, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it starts a long time ago. Big Bob McCoy, he was a Southern West Virginia wrestler, and he is my uncle. So he actually, my trainer now, which he's known as Chance Prophet in the indie scene, he was the guy that trained him. My uncle trained. So it's just like a line of, training, and it's just all a full circle if you think about it. Yeah. So he truly got me into it. As far as, wrestling itself, it was just something that was, always a part of, as long as I can remember, it was a part of my life. I remember Monday nights turning on the TV, so excited to see The Rock, so excited to see Stone Cold, and then years progress, and then I'm excited to see Edge and, John Cena, and then it just, The Shield, and it just keeps going until now, Wednesday nights, I'm excited to see Adam Cole, and I'm excited to see Chris Jericho and all of my favorites back then too. So
yeah, watch out, Nia family, the McCoy family is right on you.
Right, yeah. Cody's, there's more than one royal family in wrestling.
There is more than one. That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, the McCoy family's coming for you. Coming for you. Yeah. So, like, is there, like, any other, like, wrestler that you've seen on, like, YouTube or, like, on Instagram or, like, on the AEW scene that you want to wrestle?
Oh, yes. I would love to wrestle Britt Baker. Dream opponent. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We got the doctor versus the nurse. Like, we have to have that.
It has to happen. That's a match that has to happen.
Yeah. And
Two
Serena
people do-
Lee, too, where I'm a professor of nursing. And, you know, she's the professor of professional wrestling. I'm like, yeah, that one's got to happen, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We have another nurse in the chat right now, so if you want to just go and say, she wants to say hello.
Oh, hey, what's up? There's my people.
Yeah,
there's your people. There you go.
she's Italian. She'll cook you a nice Italian with meat sauce. Nice meal.
Oh, that sounds great. Italian's one of my favorite foods.
You ever come to New York? Let us know. We'll hook you up. We'll get you a nice little yummy Italian greeting.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can have a guest.
And she says she loves nurses, by the way. So there you go. Yeah.
Yes. The backbone of the healthcare community for sure.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for what you do. My sister's a nurse as well, so like.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much. So, but
Mm-hmm.
So
what's the biggest challenge between being a nurse and being a wrestler? Like, the hardest part.
It's the long hours. You know, putting in the long hours at work and then putting in the long hours at training. You know, you're away from. I have a 2-year-old. I'm away from him. I have 4 cats. I have a husband. You know, have a niece. So I'm away from them quite a bit doing my nursing and my wrestling. But I'm praying it pays off for them one day.
Yeah. Has your nurse career and your wrestling career ever like you've been at a show and you're like backstage and you see someone getting hurt and you're like, gotta jump in? No, I'm in wrestling today. I can't jump in. Have this ever like gone full circle?
Yeah, it actually has a couple times. They were like near though, so nothing ever happened. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, man, I'm a nurse, so I'm gonna have to step in. I was actually refereeing a match that involved Shane Douglas and Mr. Hughes. And this lady gets up on the ring and like, I was afraid she was going to get hurt, and there was kids that followed her up to the ring. And I'm like, man, they're going to get hurt. Like, it's making me really nervous because I'm, you know, the healthcare professional in this situation, but luckily they got down. Nobody got hurt. So that was better. And during Tom Pritchard, we did a seminar. Power Slam Academy had a seminar with Dr. Tom Pritchard. And it was hot. The drills were long, and, you know, a lot of dehydration and stuff. And people were, you know, getting sick. And I'm like, oh, man, I hope nobody, you know, passes out or anything like that. And it's a joke, too, because anytime everybody thinks they get hurt, they're like, oh, it's okay. We got a nurse here. Like, she'll fix this up.
Jeez. What type of music gets you ready for a match, or what type of entertainment gets you ready for a match? Say, you know, I need this before my match.
I like rock music, more the dad rock scene. I know my husband's a big death metal guy, and I like more of the dad rock, more the, you know, Papa Roach. They're one of my favorites.
I should have asked you before when I made the video for today. I should have asked what kind of music you want me to put, because every video I've made, everything I do on Instagram, like, I'm from the 90s, and this year I feel like I'm on a 90s kick, right, Geek? I'm using like It Takes Two and like pump dance music. I don't know why. I think my brain since Stranger Things has gone to the 80s/90s. Like,
I love the 90s. That's one of my favorite decades, so I'm all about it.
Yeah. Maybe I should have used some 90s rock then.
Yeah. I enjoy 90s grunge, all that. Even the 90s boy bands, you throw them in there. That's what I grew up with. So anything from the 90s is great with me.
Yeah.
What's your favorite 90s movie?
Oh gosh. Let's see. Oh man. 90s movie. I think I'm gonna have to go with Clueless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have a guy on the podcast coming on next month. His name is Rudy Root, and he's from his gimmick is he's from the 1980s. So if you had a gimmick that was from the 1990s, your gimmicks would clash.
Oh yes. Yeah. My sister is big 90s fan too, so everything that she's ever liked growing up, I've been right behind her.
Yeah.
If there was a 90s movie that you could do now, what movie would it be and why?
90s now, let's see. I'm not sure. Was Jawbreaker 90s? I feel like it.
I think that was
it like early.
I think it was 99. I think it was 99.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with that one then.
That movie freaked me out with the.
Yes.
Oh, that freaked me out. I was like, every time I watch that movie, I do this. I'm like, oh gosh.
Like you go in the stores and you see those actual, the same Jawbreakers that I'm like, oh man, those are terrifying.
Like, how do they still sell those things? I mean, kids were actually dying, eating it in their car with their parents, and the parents would go over a bump and they're stuck in their mouth like,
it's burned in my. It's almost like Final Destination in the tanning bed. Like, I have one behind me, but every time I get in it, I'm paranoid.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Anytime
I watch Final Destination with the dentist, that scene always scares the crap out of me.
Oh yeah.
I think which one was that? Was that two? Was that two, or which one was that? Were the kids in the dentist and you see the drills and everything?
Oh man, let me think. It's been such a long time since I've watched.
I think it might have been the second one. I think it
is. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who's your favorite porn to work with? You'd say.
I haven't really got to work with anybody except the girls that I train with now, and they're both wonderful. One of them, Sydney Powers, the other one's Tiara Gray. They're going to be killers in the industry one day. So, super proud to be a part of the Power Slam Girl team. So,
that's cool. If there's any young wrestlers watching on this episode now, or like a future, if they're watch it later on, what kind of advice would you give them and why?
Go ahead and take that leap when you're 18. Go ahead and go to wrestling school. Go ahead and get started young, because that's one of my biggest regrets. I'm like, I shouldn't have, been self-conscious and saying, oh, I don't know if I can be a good wrestler. I wish I would just, at 18, went straight to nursing school. I mean, not nursing school, wrestling school. I did go straight to nursing school after 18. But I don't regret that choice either. I've got to, help a lot of families, and, I've got messages on Facebook like, thank you for being there for my family, because I live in a small town. Everybody knows everybody. So
me too.
So you did explain how you got into wrestling, but how did you get into nursing exactly?
Well, this one, it's a little sad.
Oh, no.
So my dad, when I was 15, he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So we were in the hospitals religiously, like every second of every day, almost. I'd, go to school, I'd go to volleyball practice, basketball practice, and then it'd be straight to the hospital to see him. And I just realized what a difference nurses made. If he had a really bad nurse, he would end up having a horrible day. If he had a really good nurse, it was like he was in great spirits and he was having a really good day. And I'm like, man, I want to be that person that's the really good nurse, so, their sick loved ones can have good days. So, and that's where it came from. And in the back of my mind, because nursing school is brutal. And, every time I'd be studying for a hard test or something, I would be, with have that in the back of my mind. Like, there's other people like you out there. You need to be that important, good person for their family.
Definitely.
That's always the Sorry.
So I was just about to say I'm a cancer survivor, so I can relate.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my grandmother in 2008 of breast cancer. So
yeah,
I'm sorry for your loss.
Sorry, Joe.
That's the worst part.
She's gone physically, but anytime I think of the Yankees or I watched 2009 World Series, I think that she would have been like, wow, they really won. And she was from Boston, so you think someone with a Boston accent, Red Sox. She loved the New York Yankees. And I was like, does that go through? That Boston, that's sacrilegious. And I'm like, what are you doing? You didn't blame me? Don't blame me. Yeah. All right. Have you seen any good movies lately?
Lately? I wanted to see Jurassic Park, but I was too busy to see it. Wanted to see the Elvis, too busy for it.
Elvis is good.
I will say I just finished Yellowstone, the TV show, and loved it. So my sister's a Stranger Things fan, so she's like, you have to watch this. She's like, it is amazing. So I'm going to start that weekend.
Even my dad, that kind of in and out, he'll watch it with us. He was pumped. He was like, this is the best season of so Bob. My God.
Yeah.
And he was like,
yeah,
you've been watching all 4 seasons with us. All 4 to 3. He's like, I know. But the other ones were okay. This one was great.
It's true. It's true. It's like season 4 blew all the other ones out of the water.
My dad likes blood and gore. That's why. He likes watching people get their eyes popped and them bodies dragged into the lake. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like my dad's that guy that's like, yes, Dad, he just got mauled. And you're gonna cheer?
He likes the gory stuff.
He's an ex-cop. What do you expect?
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
He worked in a jail, so yeah.
Yes, he's seen all of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Joe, continue with the Stranger Things.
All right. So okay, what kind of food do you like?
Oh, I love all foods, but I love sweets. Okay. I am a donuts, cake, ice cream person. Love it.
Just had a cherry ice cream with panda paws in it. Dessert.
I can eat ice cream anytime. And then it's worse because in the summertime, it's like I feel like I deserve an ice cream every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
pasta for me. All right. And Armand wants to know if you have any pets.
Yes, I have 4 cats. They're all rescues. We bought this house, me and my husband did, and there was cats living under an old abandoned truck. So we took 3 of them in, and then just last year, there was a little fluffy guy, and he's orange, and so we ended up with him too. I was going to give him away. I was like, oh, give him a good home, but he ended up just being a part of the family. And it's funny because they're the 3 that I originally had. They're named after the Toy Story characters. I had Buzz, Woody, and Jessie. And then my husband named the new orange cat after South Park. His name's Butters.
Yes. We're a South Park podcast. We love South Park.
Did you
I'll
see?
Be watching.
Did you see
I'll be reciting stuff, right, Geek?
Did you see the new one, Joe? Or the movie, the 2 movies, or no?
No, I got it. When I go back to my sister's apartment, I have to see if I can watch it. I've been slacking, but anytime. So here we go with South Park. What is your all-time favorite episode?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Okay,
please say Casa Bonita.
Well, probably just because me and my husband laugh at this one all the time. It's the one with the Stevie Nicks where they call her Steamy Nicks.
Yes.
That one. It's because we make that joke all the time.
Steamy Nicks.
Yes. Like he'll just be going through the house and he'll make that joke. And I'm like, are we ever going to get tired of this? But we don't.
My favorite episode is when they do like the border control one, and Butters gets stuck on the opposite side. Work, Mexican work.
Oh, I love that one.
Butters. He's like, oh no.
And it's funny because the cat that we have, he's so like innocent. Like he's so sweet and innocent, and I feel like that's just the way Butters is. So I crack up at that all the time. I'm like, oh my god, he's a true Butters.
Gotta get him a blue shirt like Butters wears.
Yes.
I love the movie. The movie's probably my all-time favorite. The original movie with Terrence and Phillip, that's probably my all-time favorite one. He's like, Kenny, you could light your fart on fire. And he lights himself on, ends up lighting himself on fire. And I'm like, no, Kenny, no. He did it again.
It's like,
right?
Kenny never gets respect. He always dies. It's like, well, the first, because, fun fact, my experience with South Park, every other kid that I knew, we mentioned South Park and their moms were always like, background, looking at their kid like this. And no, I don't watch. Yeah, I don't watch South Park. My mom won't let me watch it. My mom was the cool mom. Let us watch South Park. Let us watch Beavis and Butthead. And then I was like, I gotta watch. I moved up here to PA. I went to Walmart and I bought the entire first season. Came home, started watching it. And then I noticed Cartman, every time Cartman would say a certain word, they'd beep. And I looked at the back of the DVD, Walmart censored it.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, what the heck? It's on DVD. No.
I would say I had a cool mom growing up too, because I was watching Family Guy and all the cool movies when I was really young. So probably stuff I look back, I'm like, man, I don't know if I should be watching that, but I don't guess it turned out bad. So
it's not about what your kid sees. It's about how they act after.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just watched the new Beavis and Butthead movie, Through the Universe, with what's the name, Serena, and then Beavis and Butthead just being launched into like the 21st century, talking to Siri, saying, "Hey, Butthead, it's Serena. Hi, I'm Siri."
It's something that they're bringing Beavis and Butthead back for these young kids. They won't understand the stuff they did in the 90s that made the kids like me and Geek so much more different. Because in college, me and Geek would do the Geek when he had braces sounded like Butthead.
Mm-hmm.
If Geek had braces still, he would be like, "Sure, what kind of stuff do you like to do?" And all the girls would be like, "I don't know, stuff." You said stuff. Like me and Geek are Beavis and Butthead in college. Like I had the short puffy hair, he had his puffy hair, and he had the braces. So we would walk around campus going, just like walking around just doing that. Everybody's like, that's our real life Beavis, and we were like the real life Beavis and Butthead.
So you guys went to college together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Is that where you guys met?
We've been friends for like 20 years. So.
Oh wow, that's
25
awesome.
years. Yep.
Yeah.
Was
it 25 years?
I would say 25 because it feels like 20. It feels like 25 years since I've been with this guy.
I lost count. So there you go.
It's like we met doing college radio. Like I trained him, like taught him the stuff. We trained him, and then they were like, "Oh, you could be done with him." And I'm like, "No, I feel like we should still be hanging out, and I think maybe we should do a radio show together." I would do the countdown. We'd pick songs, rock songs, and hip hop songs that would be good for a countdown. And then after that, we would break down Raws and SmackDowns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he finally dragged me down into the whole of podcast world. Because I was so against it for like how long, Geek? Like 2 years?
5 years. 5 years.
You just no.
Joe just wanted. I think Joe just wanted to do a podcast because there was a pandemic going on.
Yeah,
that's what
I wanted to do a podcast for over 5 years. So, yeah.
I just wanted to talk because I was tired of sitting in my room just like.
Oh yes.
Playing PlayStation because I've been playing PS4. So I plays my PS. Don't even think about it. PlayStation. My computer did it. Not you. Next. bless hits hard.
I know. When I think back to the pandemic, we just started playing Grand Theft Auto again. So every time I think of Grand Theft Auto, I think of the pandemic.
Which one? Which Grand Theft Auto were you playing?
The latest one.
Latest one. Have you ever gone back and tried to play the original?
I have not. I have the one before. I forgot even what it's called, and I put it in, and the graphics are like not as good, like not nowhere near as good as the latest one. So it was like, oh man, it's a little disappointing.
It's just so crazy. They can mod Grand Theft Auto now. It's like every time I try to look up Grand Theft Auto, people always modding different Grand Theft Auto. They make like they have like an alien ship or something like that. And I'm like, geez, man, if Grand Theft Auto was this cool when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 3, that would have been awesome.
Yep.
Because no, you could drive literally an alien spacecraft and just start zapping at people. I'm like, that's so cool.
The very first Grand Theft Auto, you would be like, oh god, it's just the top of the guy's head with a gun like that, and it was so bad. You could make him fart and burp. It's like
Oh my goodness.
It was bad. It was like, what is this?
What for PlayStation 1, right?
Yes, it was so bad. You can look it up on YouTube later on, and you'll be like, Joe was right. Oh my gosh, horrible. Your husband's.
I think the best one is 3. The best one has to be 3.
I like Liberty City. I don't know if you've played Liberty City yet.
I believe I have. I believe I had it on my Xbox 360.
Okay,
if those time frames add up.
I kind of like. I did. My brother kind of taught me how to cheat in the game per se, and I'm like, how am I going to get across the bridge without getting blown away by every single cop in Liberty City? Went down in the subway, no train there, put the code in, and I had my Lexus appear on the train tracks. And I just jammed it. And I stopped right before the train meets the bridge, and I just honked my horn like 15 times and just said, and I yelled at my dad's, who are you talking to? I was like, nobody. I was like, bye, bitches. And I just went under the bridge and just drove to the other side of the city. I saw all the police things just pop up above me.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
What's the furthest, Joe? What's the furthest stars you got?
I got all. And
you got 5? You got 5 stars? You got Dave Meltzer, Joe?
Yeah, Meltzer style, 5 stars. And then the next time I flew a helicopter to the top of the Empire State Building, and they always say nobody can get into the doors when you get to the tippy top of big buildings. That's a lie, because I was like, I am sniping people, cops trying to get to the Empire State Building. And then I look back and there's cops coming to the door. I'm like, oh, that's not no, that's not cool.
What's the furthest you ever got with 5? How many stars have you got?
I've got them all too.
You got
I'm just
5
running
also?
around like a little chicken with my head cut off on the game, and then finally,
Dave Meltzer, 5 stars.
When the helicopters come and drop a bomb, bam, it's over.
But it made me laugh because they always say, oh, some of the doors, when you get to the big buildings, if you land on top of your plane or whatever, oh, they can't open and the cops can't get you. And I'm like, yeah, they can't get me. And I hear, get on the ground. My guy starts crouching down and it says busted. And I was like, oh, man.
That's the worst, especially if you are like playing the story mode and you're trying to like get, one of the conquests done, and then you get busted by the cops. I'm like, why? You just ruined everything for me.
Yeah. You're doing all this stuff for the game, and then all of a sudden you get busted. It's like,
you got the 5 stars, Joe. You get the Dave Meltzer 5 stars.
And I one of them one time.
But you know something, Joe? You would have gotten 7 stars if it wasn't the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah. So, is there any other places? I don't know if I already asked this. Is there any other places in the country or the world you would like to travel to wrestle?
Oh, I would love to go to Japan. I would. It's just, you see so many good wrestlers come out of the dojo there, and I'm like, man, if I want to be the best, which is my goal, then I feel like Japan's the place I have to go.
Everyone says Japan is the best right now.
Yep.
So, who's the toughest wrestler you ever faced?
I haven't faced hardly anybody yet. Mostly just practice matches. I'm still really new, so I'll probably gonna have to go with my trainer.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been in the business for 22 years. So.
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Definitely got to try to get that person on the podcast because that guy, he must have lots of stories.
Oh yeah, he does, and it's we just sit there and soak it in, because he's got the good, the bad, he's got everything. Being in the business that long, so.
That's always the best part. You don't have to say anything. You have to sit and listen to all the stories.
Yep.
It's like being in a library. I want that book. I want that book.
Yeah.
Do you have any social medias or that people can find you or?
Yeah, I got my Instagram and I got my Twitter. Both of them are _Nurse Mika, and I think that's all. I have a Snapchat, but I haven't used it in so long. But I'm gonna get that back up and running because I know a lot of people use Snapchat. And then I have a Facebook, and it's just under Mika McCoy Barber, which I plan on getting a fan page soon where you can go like it and keep up with where I'm wrestling and all that. So just be looking for that in the future.
Okay. So do you have any upcoming shows or?
Not right now. There's some things in the works, hopefully. So hopefully you'll be seeing some matches of me very soon. And I'm excited to get out there and show the world what I can do. I've been working hard in practice, putting everything on the line. So I'm ready to let the world see me as a wrestler.
Awesome. Well, we want to wish you nothing but the best of luck. And always keep your head up and know that you got this.
Oh, thank you.
That's my last things I have to say.
Thank you.
Next week.
Yeah, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast also.
Oh, it's no problem. I had a great time. I'd love to be back if you guys would ever have me.
Yeah, please spread the word to your friends. Because
I sure will.
I'm Joe Panther the Third.
I'm the Metal Geek.
And I'm Mika McCoy RN.
And we will catch you in the next one.